Hey, what it do, sports world? It's me again. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs, is here, y'all. Where passion meets performance and champions are made. I'm your host, Ray Diggs, bringing you the energy, the insight, and the mindset from across the world of sports. From the locker rooms to the big stage, this is where the real ones talk and legends rise, and the motto stays the same. Winners will always win. The Winner Circle podcast with me, Ray Diggs. We are here and we ain't going nowhere. Make sure y'all tune in because we're about to go live now. Peace. Hey, what it do, world, and welcome to the Winner Circle podcast, man. Hey, it's so good to be back. Man, I've been gone for a while, man. You know, with a lot of things going on, daughter graduating from high school. So, I had to go take care of that, then work things that's going on as well. But man, it's so good to be back on the Winner Circle podcast. We got a great segment. We got a slew of segments today. I'm knocking out all my podcasting today. I'm off today. So I want to talk about the Karmelo Anthony murder trial that's getting ready to kick off today in Collins County, Texas. The jury selection was completed this morning, so now they're going to go straight into the opening arguments with the prosecutors. Now, before I get started, man, make sure y'all hit the like button, the subscribe button, and also the share button, and make sure y'all give me your feedback on what you all think about this segment. I'm gonna try my best to be as open-minded as possible in this trial as it continues to move forward. But this right here is going to be a very highly anticipated trial. Of Karmelo Anthony, the young teenager that's accused of murdering a kid last year at the at a track meet. And it's kind of separated races. It went this way, that way. A lot of people went over here with Karmelo Anthony. They felt like, oh, this right here was a big muscular white guy. That's right there what he was supposed to do, protect himself. And he's claiming self-defense, but the more I looked at this case, it's going to be very hard to prove, even though I know Texas have a very weird self-defense law, stand your ground law. But I think that I don't know if this right here is going to be a self-defense law. I'm looking at it like this. I'm going to wait to the opening arguments. I want to see the video because they have video of everything that happened. We haven't never seen this. Also, I want to say that it's not going to be no cameras, no audio, no live screen. So somebody inside the courtroom is going to have to be updating us. And that's how we're going to have to be able to do like our reactions on this trial. But I'm hoping that somebody in there that can take really good notes so we can actually get to see what is really going on inside this courtroom as this thing gets ready to kick off. But this is a very a sad situation, as y'all know. Last year, Karmelo Anthony, the young kid from Texas, they was at a track meet. It was raining, and the kid, from what I'm hearing, the police report says that the kid walked up. It was a confrontation, and next thing you know, the kid, Austin Andrews, may he rest in peace, love and condolences to his family. Austin Metcalf, he was stabbed in the chest and ended up passing away from that stabbing. So Karmelo Anthony was pretty much arrested for murder. And a lot of people are saying that it was self-defense. A lot of people are saying that it's clear-cut murder. I made a video on this right here. I gave my opinion on it. I don't know if I can say, I don't know if I can give him self-defense off of what I'm hearing. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? Man, people just get on here and comment and just say the dumbest shit, dude. Like, for real. His name is Austin Metcalf. I mean, if you go back to my old videos, you'll see that I've been following this right here for like the longest. But anyway, so this thing right here is gonna become, I think it's gonna be one of those cases that is not gonna be any winner in this case. Do I think that if he found guilty, that if he is guilty, I don't know if it's gonna be for clear cut murder. I think they might try to go for something like manslaughter, maybe. But the more I look at this case, I just don't know if I can support a self-defense claim, because I don't know if it's self-defense if you are afraid that you might lose a fight. Is it self-defense if you think that, okay, this person is bigger than me, I need a weapon, but y'all didn't fight, because we don't know. Did they fight? The video is going to come out today in court, when we will see what really happened on this day under that tent. Because, like I said, a lot of people are saying a lot of things. We don't have a clear-cut vision on what really happened. But what to expect from the trial? I think it's going to be extensive testimony from eyewitnesses who was actually there during the confrontation, video evidence and forensic evidence surrounding this murder. This is everything that I think that they're going to have to that's going to be expected at this trial right here. The battle between prosecutors and defense attorneys over whether Anthony reasonably fears seriously bodily injury, and that's right there how you have to fear physical serious bodily harm before you can commit something like this and say it's self-defense. Like, I have to really fear for my life. Getting my ass whooped ain't really fearing for my life, honestly. I mean, it could be, but is it really? Because I possibly can win the fight. You see, so I don't know if that's going to be able to hold up. That's why I'm so worried about that self-defense. And also, it's heavily focused on Texas self-defense law and whether bodily force was justified under these circumstances. So these are the things that I'm going to expect, and why. And now I also wrote some notes down and say why self-defense could be very difficult to prove. First, prosecutors are expected to argue that the verbal dispute escalated into a fatal stabbing and that the level of force used was not reasonable under the circumstances. And that's right there what I've been arguing and saying. I don't know if this right here was warranted. I don't know if a fight or argument is just something that I can say, yes, he acted in self-defense. Also, the defense must convince jurors that Anthony genuinely and reasonably believed he faced intimate threat and serious bodily injury or death. Also, the witness account, video evidence, the action leading up to the stabbing will be heavily scrutinized. I think that that's going to be what we're looking at. What happened leading up to this fight? That's what we want to see. We want to see what happened leading up to the fight. Was Austin Metcalf? Was he on top of Karmelo Anthony? Did he have to, it lasts, if I'm on top of somebody and that person reaches in his bag or whatever, grab a knife and stab me, is that self-defense? It could be self-defense in that matter, but we don't know if Austin Metcalf was even on him. We don't even know if it was just an argument and he pushed him, and next thing you know, he reaches inside his bag or whatever and come back and stab him. Now that, I don't know if you can prove that is self-defense. I don't think that is self-defense. That's just my opinion. And also, at the end of the day, the trial is not expected to center on whether Anthony stabbed Metcalf. The facts is largely undisputed. The key question for the juries will be whether the stabbing was lawful self-defense or criminal homicide under the Texas state law. That's what it's going to come down to. We already know he did it, but we want to see, they're going to have to prove that he acted in self-defense. His defense team is going to have to prove that. While the prosecutors is over here saying, we're going to show y'all without a reasonable of a doubt that Karmelo Anthony clear-cut killed Austin Metcalf. And I like I said, man, I don't think it's gonna be no winners in this. This is gonna be a heavily scrutinized trial. I think you got the black race over here that's gonna say, I think that it should be moved to a different county. It should be moved here. I think that the black community is gonna say, we think that this is who should be the jurors. I already saw the video. I saw a video this morning that was pretty much already criticizing the judges. I've watched a lot of trials, y'all. I've watched so many trials. It's crazy. Judges really don't really control nothing. The judges is there listening. That's it. It's the jurors that make all the decisions. Now, do I think the judges have maybe have a little bit of pull? But I don't know if judges can sway a jury to make a decision, because it's some trials that I watched that I'd be like, damn, that dude should have been found guilty. Or this young lady should have been found guilty, and they didn't. So I mean, a lot of people say Diddy should have been found guilty. A lot of people say Alicia Andrews should have been found guilty. I watched the Govan Hernandez trial. I think he should have been found guilty. So I don't think that a judge really, and then they saying, oh, the judge is a Republican. I think we got to get away from this right here. I'm hoping for a clear-cut trial where, you know, this person commit this crime in self-defense, or did this person commit this crime and it was a homicide? He actually killed this kid. That's right there what I want. I'm hoping that both sides come. I mean, this right here, I think they both have good cases. But if I have to just say right here, I'm not gonna pick who I think is gonna, I mean, what is gonna happen in this trial. But me looking at everything that I got right here, I just don't know how you can prove self-defense. And like I said, I hope that the kid is a 3.7, 3.8 grade point average. But I'm gonna tell y'all something, and I say this right here from the bottom of my heart. It's been a lot of smart killers out here. It's been a lot of smart kids out here, or people out here that was very, very smart, and they made one bad mistake and they ended it all. So when we go out and say that this person, oh yeah, the reason why he couldn't have committed this crime is because he was a 4.0 grade point average, that means absolutely nothing. Ted Bundy was a very smart person, and look what he was out here doing. So we got to stop with the grade point average, and this person right here is a hell of a kid, because now, you know, yes, he was a good kid. Yes, he was a very smart kid. But, you know, when you make a bad decision, I'm going to tell you like this right here, and that's why I always tell people, when you bring a gun or a knife to any gathering, and you pull that knife or that gun out, you have to understand that there's consequences behind all of these decisions. It's a consequence behind you bringing it. It's a consequence behind you pulling it out and using it. So we got to, all of that 3.0 things, it goes out the window when it comes down to a murder trial. Okay, because you're here for a reason. And I think that a lot of people use the 4.0 grade point average, and he was a student athlete. Yes, we understand that. But at the end of the day, when you go and you make that decision to pull that weapon out and you use it, now that 3.0, 4.0 grade point average is out the window. Now you have to fight for your life. You know, so I look at this right here as it's going to be a very good, I think it's going to be a really good case. I'm hoping for the best, but I just don't know. Like I said, I'm waiting to see what the video shows. And like I said, this case right here has separated the blacks and the whites. Like I said, the whites said that. And what I didn't like about it is, if y'all go back to when all of this happened, Karmelo Anthony family raised over $700 to $1.5 million in legal in fees for their lawyers. So they ain't coming in here with just a basic lawyer. They're coming in here with a very high profile lawyer, probably one of the best in Texas. You know, with that amount of money, and they were scrutinized because they said people were saying they was using the money for different things. You know, and the person that was speaking out for them, I'm not going to talk about the man. I'm not going to bring the man's name up, but their spokesman didn't make it no better, because when we looked a little further into the guy that was pretty much the voice of the Anthony family, he was a guy that had a very extensive, very, very extensive police record. Okay, he had beating on a child. He had beating on his girlfriend. You know, so I don't know if they surrounded themselves with the best. I would say that, you know, they went about this all wrong, and they was mad at the Metcalf family for being mad. I mean, hell, who's not gonna be mad if you took my son away from you? You know, so I think that this family, the Anthony family, they went about a lot of this stuff wrong. I'm not gonna, you know, bash them or nothing, but this case right here, I think that once it's done, should be studied and should be put out in classrooms so people can understand self-defense law in Texas. Texas have a very strict self-defense law, but it's also open to where you can do things. And also, I would say this right here. My question, I got a few questions. First of all, why did you even bring a knife to a track meet anyway? A lot of people say he always have a knife with him. But last time I checked, that if your knife on school grounds, that's already against the law. That's number one. Number two, did you really feel that he was threatening your life wanting to fight you? Or did you just say, you know what, I'm not gonna take an ass whooping today. I'd rather take his life than let him beat me up. That's another thing. That's another question that I have. So these right here are some of the questions that's off the top of my head. I'm gonna keep updating y'all on this case as the week go by. I think it's gonna be bombshells the first day when opening statements come. I'm waiting to see if this trial right here is gonna be like the Julio Fulio trial that was happened like a couple weeks ago. The prosecutors came out in that case and it was gun blazing from the start. I think that the prosecutors came out the first day, opening statements, and they pretty much won the case from the first day. I want to see if the Karmelo Anthony trial is going to be just like that one. And if they can come out gun blazing the first day, it's going to set the tone for the rest of the trial. And we'll know pretty much where it's going to go. We don't know what's going to happen. But like I said before, was it self-defense or was it clear-cut homicide? Did he really go there? You know, I mean, not saying he went to the track meet to kill somebody, but you know, he did it while he was there. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Make sure y'all thank y'all for commenting. Thank y'all for the likes, man. I appreciate it. But we're going to keep updating on the Karmelo Anthony trial as it gets underway in Collins County, Texas today. It's going to be bombshells. I can tell y'all that. But thank y'all again. And I'm going to keep updating y'all as the week go by and letting y'all know where I think this trial stands. Until next time, y'all, peace.
Mr. Diggs, we're on in 5. Vegas can't be choosers, but grandma chose trace. She raised me on scraps.